Good evening, everyone. I am Sally Benjamin, and I'll be taking you through this React course. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button so that we get more subs and more views, and we could help out more people who would want to learn how to code. So for this session of React, we're supposed to be going through how to install more dependencies using package.json, and also creating pages and components. Alright, so what we're going to start with is installing simple packages into package.json, and you can still do that with npm as we followed from the last session. All you have to do is do npm install and then the package name. So for this case, we're going to install a very useful package that is normally used whenever you install React, which is a React router DOM. Now, React router DOM is a routing library which is used to navigate from page to page while utilizing React's core feature, which is a React DOM. React DOM is used to render the page without actually requesting for data or for information from the server the second time. Like if you have to link from one page to the other, it will re-render the already fetched content initially to display the page that you want to display next, instead of having to request for that page from the server. So it re-renders the page within the browser. I'll try to demonstrate that. So right now, let's just install this package using npm. We just give it some time, let it install. But I already installed this, so maybe you guys can install that. You can just check that from here. I already have it installed in my dependencies, so I actually can just let it install here, so you can just see what happened, what it looks like. And yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like on your side when you fully install and you get done with installation. So now, to configure the routing for each page, the routing is configured within the app.tsx. Now this holds all the routing information, and we have the three core modules that are normally used during routing, which is browser router, which you normally rename as router, then route, which identifies a specific route, which identifies a path, and which holds the element which it represents. Then route, which holds all the routes that you'll be routing to. It's going to sound like a tongue twister, but yes, it holds all the routes you'll be routing to. Now, you can see here, right now we have two pages, which is home and greeter. I created these, I think you saw this in the previous video. I created these just for testing sake. Now, in home, we have a simple, let me make this a div, and we're going to have another div here to close the tag. It is really basic HTML. We're going to have our hello world here. And in this, I'm also going to add a link with an anchor tag to link to the page called greeter. And how to do that is just we already defined what page links to what from here. And if we save that and actually use the anchor tag here, we want link to greet, because that is the link that we attach to greeter. And all we have to do is then in here we're going to have, let me say, greeter as a text that you can be clicking. Then how do we run a React project? You just have to type in npm run start. When you type npm run start, we are going to have the React project starting in development mode. Now normally it will open up your default browser to start running the test environment within your browser. Yeah, so let's have a look at that. And I don't think it has opened, but we can also just type it in, which is localhost. Normally boots, it normally starts at localhost 3000, and we can look at that. We have hello world and we have a little greeter link here. When we click this, you're going to notice that it's actually going to try and refresh the page, which we actually don't want to see. We don't want it to refresh the page, because that means that it has to fetch information from the server, which takes more time, so which increases response time on the website. And also we're not utilizing React to its fullest potential. We have the ability to re-render the content that we already pulled at once from the server and re-render it to display the page that we want, without actually having to fetch more information from the server. How do we do this? Utilizing the package we just installed, all we have to do is type in import link from React Router DOM, and as simple as that. Now replace the anchor tag with a link tag. Instead of href, you just put 2, and you put the corresponding closing tag. And now if you're to notice, when you click greeter, it's going to go directly to greet without actually having to reload the page. And that is the beauty of having link instead of an anchor tag. Yeah, that is the difference between an anchor tag and a link tag from React Router DOM. Now you're utilizing the React DOM features to render the page instead of having to fetch information straight from the server. Now, if you had noticed, before I had written this div, we had a tag called links. Now links is a custom tag that I had written to illustrate components. Now another amazing thing about React is that you can create your own custom components to do exactly the same thing that you wanted to do. Now instead of having to rewrite this maybe here, and also you wanted to write it here again, you'd have a component called maybe links. Now in links, you can just rewrite that whole div that I had written at first and just put parameters to identify what is the name of this div, what color do you want, and actually you can, all the styling can be done at once, so it's all going to look the same. If you ever want to change the styling for links, all the pages, yet it's always going to be the same component, you can always do it at once in one component and just refer to that one component when sharing it between home and greeter. You can see that all we're just doing is passing these props, which is greeter, link, and link to, which are now passed down into the links through the names that we already used. You can see that name, link, and link to are parameters of the function links, which we already called from here, which we called from the components and being used in home and greeter, right? Now in links, we just have to use these parameters according to the way we want it, and we see by actually utilizing React Router DOM's link component to utilize the React DOM feature. Yeah, and that's basically how we do have components. And if we have to check this again, we're going to have both of them being green, and when I click, it's going to take me back to home. Yeah, it's going to take me back to greeter. And that is exactly how simple it is to use components. Now the next time we'll be meeting is to go through the project, which I'll be sharing. You can check it out. I think I'll be sharing I'll share the source code. The source code is always going to be in a description, and I'll also share the assignment in the code too. Yeah, the assignment is going to be shared in the code too. Alright, a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for tuning in.